So, Priyas, as you are already working on PVS infra, right? So, can you please explain what are the Citrix provisioning services and what activities you are doing over there? How you manage the PVS infra?
Sir, PVS, actually, sir, as I know, sir, PVS is a target device where I update the image, and this image is streaming all VDA.
Mm-hmm. So,
Uh, Nothing more, sir. I have little bit idea, sir, but I'm not be able to explain all the things, sir. So,
so what right now you are doing in PVS console? Like, what kind of tickets or what kind
yeah,
of
sir. In PVS, sir, I'm getting a ticket where I check the services of the means where I get the alert of about my PVS server. I'm
Mhm.
just check the PVS services, and um, and by PVS server I published my image. I stream my. I just update image on PVS only.
How you will do that?
Sir, by provisioning, sir.
That is fine by provisioning, but I'm asking for the steps. Like, just suppose if I have to update
Yeah,
a
so
video.
if you, yeah, let's suppose I have a server whose name is X.
Mm-hmm.
So first of all, I am taking server on maintenance mode,
Mm-hmm.
and then go in provisioning, then go in previous server,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm just make a copy, make a folder for just suppose for September. I have to image update. I have image update for September month. So I make a folder of September month, and
Mm-hmm.
last month August image I just copy and paste in the September folder,
Mm-hmm.
and then go in previous server, uh, and then after I shut down my by vCenter, I'm shut down my server where I want to update the image, and in just go in vdisk, and go in maintenance, and
Okay, 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 okay. Let it be. So basically, we are talking about the Citrix provisioning services. So Citrix provisioning services are the product that has been delivered by the Citrix for streaming technology, right? So with the help of Citrix provisioning console or Citrix provisioning server, we can stream a single VDX to multiple devices over the network. For the same, what we have to do, we have to create one target device, and with the help of that target device, we can create a VDISC, and further we can publish that particular VDISC to all the target device, whatever the requirement, right? So if I'm talking about the streaming, so this is a basic kind of network diagram for Citrix. It's not getting zoom. Okay. So basically this is our hardware. Hardware means hypervisor, network, Wi-Fi, storage, processor, and multiple components are there, right? This is our delivery controller, this is active directory server, this is license server, and rest of the things remain same what we have covered in to the MCS. But to deploy Citrix provisioning, what we have to do, first we have to create Citrix provisioning server, then we have to configure Citrix provisioning console. With the help of Citrix provisioning console, we can virtualize the physical storage to virtual disk, and those virtual disks we can allocate to the target device. So here, if I'm talking about the target device, that means I'm talking about the virtual or physical machine. In Citrix provisioning term, virtual machines or physical machines are known as the target device to whom we are publishing the virtual drive. Okay. Any question in that?
no, sir.
Okay. So let me close this. How to go back? Should I press back button? Yes. So coming to the core components or the key components for provisioning server. So what will be required means one provisioning server will be required, SQL database will be required for database. License server will be there to allocate license to the virtual machines. Network or and shared storage, like local network and shared storage will be required. Why local network is required? To stream the virtual disk over the network, right? And again, collection of target devices. It is required here. As I told you, if I'm talking about the target devices, that means I'm talking about the virtual or physical machines. Okay. So further, actually, this is the official Citrix website. You can read multiple things from here. Okay. You will get all the details, like how things, like, as in this diagram. If we talk about the network services, right? So what kind of network services are required? PXC server, then TFTP server, and DHCP server, right? So can someone explain me what is the difference between these three things: PXC server, TFTP server, and DHCP server? Anyone?
The DHCP is responsible for the IP addressing set.
Yeah, everyone know that. Everyone know that. What about PXC and TFTP?
PXC is responsible for streaming the image, and same both TFTP also, sir.
Some difference should be
Always.
there, na? Some difference should be there, right? So what is that difference? Okay, let me explain you. Just suppose when you are doing any network boot, right? Just suppose you are booting your laptop and desktop by pressing F12 or F8 key, right? So what you are doing over there, you are booting your laptop or desktop with the network, right? So that comes apart. Initially, it will reach out the DHCP server to get the IP address, right? And after that, it will require some file to download, like what to boot. So that particular TFTP file will get downloaded from the TFTP server. It is a small .bin file, okay? It will get downloaded from TFTP server, and then after the file download, whatever the configuration has been stored into that particular file, PXC server is responsible for booting process of that laptop, right? Any doubt? No. What is the port number for TFTP server? Anyone? 69, buddy. This is the basic thing. 69 is for TFTP. What is the port number for DHCP?
67, 68. 67 TCP and 68 UDP, sir.
Okay. And what is the port number for PXC?
Yes.
Google it and let me know the answer. In that way, you will be able to remember, right?
Sir, 67, 69, sir.
69 is for what? TFTP, and 67
And
is for what?
67 is for
Is for PXC, right?
60. Yes, sir.
Okay. So now this is a like network diagram. This is our farm. So as you can see here, we have two sites mentioned here. Like, so one site you can consider for Mumbai, another site you can consider for Delhi. Okay, and on both sides, the guys had configured the provisioning server, right? And this is the VHD. VHD is virtual hard drive. Okay, and here is our PVS server. We have created one virtual hard drive, right? And then these are our target devices with read write cache, means with the virtual machines VM, right? And if someone asks you what are the type of modes in PVS disk? So two modes are available, private and standard mode, right? Any doubt?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
No, sir.
So I'm not going to explain you theoretically much more. Why? Because it is a documentation given by the Citrix only. You can, if you want to read, you can read multiple things, but we will continue with practicals only. Okay, in that way you will be able to understand things in easy way, right? So now just go back to the infra that I have created earlier. Okay, so what we did earlier, we have configured the entire data center. We have tested the applications and the desktop what we virtualize with the help of storefront server, right? So now
Yes, sir.
extending to this, now I'm going to deploy PBS sorry, PBS server in my domain controller only. Why? Because I do not want to create a separate machine for PBS server. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to deploy my PBS console in my domain controller itself. Okay, so for the same, what we have to do, we have to mount the ISO media of PBS. Citrix provisioning 2112 I am using right now. You can use the latest one, whatever is available on Citrix website. Okay.
Sir, sometime your voice is not coming properly, sir. It just breaking.
Now it is proper or not?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So I have mounted the ISO media here. Okay. So it is a small ISO media for 812 MB in size. Okay. So simply run it. So what we are doing, we are configuring the PBS console. Okay. So select the first option for console installation. These are the prerequisites as usual, .NET blah blah blah, multiple things are there. Okay, simply click on install. It will install all the required prerequisites. Okay, and in between what I have to do, let me open the Gen Center. I think we have already created one VM here, right? Let's see. Okay, my connection is unstable actually. That might be a possible reason why you are not getting my voice properly. Okay, so we already having one server 2019 machine. So we will configure this machine as a target device. Okay. Or else I can do one more thing. Let's create one machine. Okay. With Windows 10 operating system. So before that, let me check whether I have copied Windows 10 ISO file or not. No, 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 no. Okay. Okay, so accept the terms and install .NET 4.8. In between, I can copy the Windows 10 ISO media. Okay. So things are quite simple actually. You just have to understand the basics of the technology what we are using. Okay, so what it is asking? It is asking to close me Active Directory and Server Manager. Yes, close it. And also I have got my, where is the ISO file? Let's search for Windows 10, where it is. Okay, let's copy this to this location. Okay, so our ISO media is copied now, and what I can do here, I can create a new virtual machine with Windows 10. Let's name it Win-10-TD. TD is for target device. Okay, is it reflecting? Yes, it is reflecting now. Click on next, again next. 4 GB can be, okay, we can good with 4 GB as we have that much of resources. Simply again and again and create now. So basically what I'm doing, I'm creating one virtual machine, okay, to publish it as a, to add some virtual drives to it, to configure it on a PVS server, okay. And this will be a basic installation, how we install the Windows 10 machine. In parallel, we are configuring the console as well, okay. Let me put that into some good stage.
So yeah, what is this here piano core?
Piano core, actually it is a virtual processor given by the Citrix, as we are booting up the machines on Citrix hypervisor, na? So this is a virtual platform given by the Citrix. Piano core is nothing. Whenever you are booting the physical machines, you will get Intel or Asus or anything name, right? The brand name, which is booting your machine or motherboard, right? So in similar way, it is Piano core for Citrix, right?
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Now it will run automatically. Now we can go back to the PVS console. So it's still installing. So in between, we must have to modify our DHCP scope. Why? Okay, server manager is closed for now, because we need to configure the TFTP port number, and we have to configure the PXE boot port number in our DHCP server. Okay, so for the same, we must have to modify two entries, okay, in DHCP scope, that is port number 66 and 67. Okay, so let's wait for to get this complete, then we will continue. In parallel, this installation is also going on. Okay, so I think this is completed. It might ask for reboot. No, good, not asking. So basically, understanding the Citrix provisioning fundamentals are only 2 or 3 day task for me. Okay, so it's totally up to you how you will manage the infra, how you will create the infra. Okay, so it's totally up to you guys, and you always continue to have some practice, right? Always before cracking any good interview. Okay, and also the budget which is available for Citrix administrator right now in multiple organization, it is in between 12 to 18 lakhs per annum. So it is quite high. So you have to prepare as per the demand. So just replicate the infra what I am creating here in your hardware, and please continue to practice. That is the only mantra to crack the things. Okay.
So, do you have any prerequisite for installing this Citrix provisioning
Sorry,
server?
what?
Do we have any prerequisite for installing this Citrix provisioning server?
Here are the prerequisites now. .NET 4.8, CDF, broker sessions, what is installing right now. The basic things, the SQL database, the DHCP server configurations. So these are the few prerequisites. Just install. Right now we are installing the console, then we will install the server on the same machine. So if we are talking about the prerequisite, so first prerequisite will be your DHCP scope. You must have to have a DHCP scope in your which is running in your infra, right? To allocate IP address to the target devices or the virtual drives, right? And second prerequisite will be your SQL server. Why? For database. And third one, your DHCP scope configurations. And fourth, fifth, or sixth, you can consider, the basic things from Microsoft, like .NET framework, which is actually required to run the infra. So I think our console installation has been done. So if I click here, you will get Citrix provisioning console here, but we have not configured any server yet, so it will not launch, right? So for the same, just click on the server installation. Again, it will install few required softwares. It is a very simple installation. Anyone can do that, right? But the configuration part we have to cover. Okay. So these are the port numbers used by the PVS console. You must have to remember all the port numbers. I will share the list of those port number. Like for PVS console, port number will be 54321. Okay. And for PXE, it's 69. For DHCP server, it's 67. And SQL server is common port 1433. For domain controller, port number will be 389. Okay, so these are the basically a default ports. Okay, simply click on next, again next, install it. Finish it. Now it is asking for the configuration wizard, right? So as I told you, first we must have to make some changes in our DHCP scope, right? So let me open the server manager. Now go to your DHCP scope. So in every organization, there will be a separate DHCP scope created for PBS services, but as we are running multiple things on the same hardware, so we are going to configure in the same machine. Okay, so from here, what we have to do, not here, where is the DHCP scope what I have created? Hello, am I audible? Hello,
Your voice is breaking.
now?
Oh, it's
No,
okay,
no,
sir.
it's not.
Okay, so we have to configure few server options here, right? So just do right click and click on the configure options. Let me maximize this so that you will be able to see it properly. So from here, what you have to do, you have to enable few ports in your DHCP scope. So first port number will be the 66 port number. Okay, here it is.
67.
66 phone number for the boot server host name. Okay, so in our case, the same server will be our boot server, right? So let me enter the IP of my domain controller .10.100. Okay, apply it. Where it gone? Okay, and the next thing what we have to do, you have to update the boot file name. So in Citrix, we are having two boot files available. First one is ardb32.win and second one is pvsnbpx64.efi. Okay, so let me enter the first file name, that is ardb32.win. Okay, so basically this file is for the old legacy systems, right? For those systems uh, who is still booting in that BIOS mode. Okay, but now things are changed. 90% of systems are using the
UEFI.
EFI mode, right? So for EFI mode, we must have to enter PVS NB PX 64.EFI for EFI mode, right? I hope you will remember this, or else I will copy it and I will paste it for you guys. Okay, again it's PBS is for PBS, NBP64 you must have to remember, and EFI is for UEFI mode boot, right? And out, apply it and okay it. Okay, now our DHCP server has been configured. We have got two entities here, like boot server host name and boot file name. Okay, so now go back to here, click on next. Now it is asking for the DHCP services. Like we are configuring the PBS console, so it is asking for the DHCP server address. So if you have a separate DHCP server running on any different computer, you can select that option, and after that you have to enter the IP address of that DHCP server. But we are running DHCP scope on same server, so I'm going to select this. Simply click on next. Now for PXE services as well, we are having same DHCP scope on the same machine. Click on next. So now it is asking what would you like to do, like uh, do you like to create a new form, or if you have any running form in your organization, you can join to that as well. So if we are talking about the form, so basically form is the location of any particular site, right? Simply click on next. Now it is looking for the database server, so click on browse We have already configured one SQL server on our DDC machine. So select this. Or if you have any separate server in your organization, you can select that as well. Okay. Simply click on next. It will automatically validate the credentials. Why? Because we are using a domain user account. Okay. If anything goes wrong, it will prompt us. So now it is asking for the database name. So just make it simple, PVS. Farm name I can put in the site name. I can put Indore -site, and collection name I can put Windows. Why? Because we are going to use Windows machines only here. Okay. Simply click on next. And for authentication, we are using the Active Directory things. Okay. So that will be the path like techmtech.com, bulletin, and administrator. Simply click on next. Now it is asking for the store, right? So store, why store? Here I'm when I'm talking about the store, that means I'm talking about the network storage where I can store all the VDA or the VDIX, right? So let me create one folder here. I can name it as a PVS store. Now let me share this. Everyone, okay. Apply, okay. And one more thing I can do that. Here into the permissions, I can add why it is not searching my user. Okay, search it from here. Okay, let me select this administrators. Okay, and I can provide full control to my administrators. Okay. Again, okay. I can copy this path, close it. Now what I have to do, I have to select the path PVS store, and yeah, store name will be fine. Simply click on next. Now the port number, as I told you, 27,000 is a port number for license server, so that is fine. Click on next. Unable to communicate with the license server. Why? Okay, why? Because a license server is configured on DDC. Now click on next. Now it has been configured. Simply click on next. Account password update by default for 7 days. Okay, click on next. So now here it is showing like